Jessica Pegula and Madison Keys break silence on Craig Tiley's best-of-5 push. Change the men's The Australian Open 2026 wrapped up with everything Tennis Australia could have hoped for, and more. Record-breaking crowds poured through the gates. Matches stretched deep into the Melbourne night, and the quality of tennis across both tours reminded everyone why the Happy Slam remains a crown jewel of the sport. But just as the applause was fading, tournament boss Craig Tiley reignited one of tennis's most polarizing debates. Should women play best-of-5 sets at Grand Slams? Tiley, speaking to AAP in the aftermath of the tournament, revealed his desire to introduce a best-of-5 format for women at the Australian Open beginning in 2027, starting from the quarterfinals through to the final. Framed as a step toward evolution and greater spectacle, the proposal immediately divided fans, pundits, and players. Now, two of the most respected voices on the WTA Tour, Jessica Pegula and Madison Keys, have weighed in. And their message is clear. Capability isn't the issue. Fairness is. A podcast moment that sparked a bigger conversation. Pegula and Keys shared their thoughts during a candid episode of the Players Box podcast on YouTube, where they were joined by fellow American stars Jennifer Brady and Desiree Crouchick. While reflecting on the highs and lows of the Australian Open, the discussion naturally drifted toward Tiley's proposal. Keys was the one who opened the door, acknowledging the physical ability of women to handle longer matches, but quickly pointing out the deeper implications. "I think we're all capable of doing it," Keys said, "but I don't think I would sign up to do more. I think that if we were to do that, I think you would change the men as well." That comment cut straight to the heart of the issue. While men at Grand Slams traditionally play best-of-5 matches, even that format has been softened in recent years, with some tournaments experimenting with shorter matches early on or tightening schedules to manage player workload. Pegula's firm stance: "Would I want to? No." Jessica Pegula didn't mince words when it was her turn to respond. Calm, but resolute, the world number one contender made it clear that she sees the proposal as unbalanced. "I mean, would I want to? No," Pegula said flatly. For Pegula, the conversation isn't about endurance or toughness. Quality's women's tennis has demonstrated time and again on the biggest stages. Instead, it's about equality in structure, expectations, and reward. "If we're going to go 3 out of 5, Pegula continued, "I think it needs to be switched to the men to make it the same. And then I would also feel like maybe prize money would have to." At that point, Desiree Crouchick jumped in with a succinct summary that resonated instantly. "More sets, more money." Pegula nodded in agreement, adding, "If they're going to make a drastic decision like that, well then there has to be something to balance that." The unspoken reality. Scheduling, health, and longevity beyond fairness and compensation. Pegula and Keys' comments highlight concerns that many players share but rarely state so plainly. Best-of-5 matches don't just mean longer contests. They mean longer recovery times, heavier physical tolls, and increased injury risk across a 2-week slam. For women, who already navigate packed schedules, frequent travel, and shorter off-seasons, adding more wear and tear without structural changes elsewhere could shorten careers rather than elevate the product. There's also the logistical side. Grand Slam tournaments already struggle with scheduling delays, late finishes, and weather disruptions, something the Australian Open 2026 experienced firsthand under soaring heat. Expanding women's matches without adjusting the men's format or match counts risks overloading courts, broadcasters, and players alike. Capability versus choice. One of the most striking elements of Keys and Pegula's remarks is the distinction they draw between being able to and wanting to. Neither player questioned whether women are physically capable of best-of-5 tennis. In fact, their confidence underscored the opposite. What they pushed back against was the idea that progress must automatically mean more rather than better. Women's tennis has thrived in best-of-3 formats, delivering some of the most dramatic, intense, and high-quality matches in recent slam history. From epic finals to underdog runs, the product has rarely lacked excitement or legitimacy. A message for tennis leadership. Craig Tiley's vision may be rooted in growth, but Pegula and Keys have made it clear that growth must be collaborative. Any fundamental change to match format, especially one that alters the physical demands of the sport, cannot happen in isolation. Their message to tennis leadership is simple but powerful. If you want equality, apply it across the board. That means rethinking the men's format, aligning workloads, and ensuring prize money reflects increased demands. Until then, the push for best-of-5 women's matches may remain more controversial than constructive. Where the debate goes next with 2027 still a year away, the conversation is far from over. Players, governing bodies, broadcasters, and fans will all have a say in shaping what the future of Grand Slam tennis looks like. But thanks to Jessica Pegula and Madison Keys, one thing is now firmly on the table. Women aren't asking to be tested. They're asking to be treated fairly. And in modern tennis, the distinction might matter more than any format change ever